Good evening, guys. This is discussion B for you. It's kind of a twofold presentation tonight. We did discussion A was modifications. Discussion B is explaining attendant care for seniors when it comes to getting them services. So we're going to discuss that for B. Like I said, it's like a twofold thing tonight. So enjoy the presentation. Here's a summary of key points from the ID/ARD chapter 10, adult attendant care. Okay. Then we've got definition and purpose, guys, first. Okay, so adult attendant care supports medically stable adults 21 plus with physical cognitive disabilities in performing daily living activities. Services can include both medical and non-medical care, as well as incidental housekeeping tied to the individual's health and welfare. Okay. Service structure. 1 unit, 15 minutes, up to 136 units per week, 34 hours per day, guys. Okay, or per week. Services can be combined with personal care or companion services, but the total weekly maximum remains 34 hours unless a higher need is documented to avoid institutionalization. Okay. Participant-directed approach. Participants or representatives select and supervise workers. Workers must be approved via the UAP, Participant-Directed Attendant Care Program. Okay, training in basic first aid with tiny refreshers is required before services provision. Okay. Eligibility and assessment. The waiver case manager or WCM assesses need during an in-person evaluation, meaning somebody comes to your house and has a assessment sheet that breaks down your whole day in one sheet, like bathing. How long does it take you to bathe? How long does it take you to cook? How long does it take you to clean, and so on? So that's what that sheet's for, is to help the case manager figure out how many hours a week you need for services. So that's it. Okay. So the waiver case managers or WCM assesses need during an in-person evaluation. Okay. Third sheet coming up. Give me a minute. Participants must demonstrate cognitive capacity or have a representative to direct their care. Required documents include referral forms, pre screening, and care assessments. Provider restrictions. Case managers may not provide other waiver services to the same participant to prevent conflicts of interest. Relatives can serve as attendants under specific DDSN policy. Okay, authorization and payroll. Services are authorized via TheraP and managed by monitoring by Morning Sun and fiscal agents, meaning you hire and fire, but a company pays your people for you to come in for you. You're their boss, but they get paid by a company for you. Employees, participants, or reps develop service schedules with approved workers. Monitoring and quality assurance. WCMs monitor services at least annually on site, ensuring compliance, satisfaction, and continued uh, appropriateness. Monitoring covers everything from tasks, performance to the quality of the caregiver participant relationship. Changes or termination, uh, reductions, suspensions, or terminations must be communicated in writing with a 10-day notice or option for reconsideration. Okay. If you'd like, I can help break down this into a checklist or draft, quick reference guide for participants and caregivers. Instead, absolutely. Is here's a deeper breakdown of the eligibility criteria for adult attendant care as outlined in the document. Okay, number one, age and medical stability. The individual must be 21 years or older. They must be medically stable, meaning they don't require continuous nursing care, but do need support with daily activities due to physical or cognitive disabilities. Okay, two, need for assistance. Eligibility hangs hangers on an in-person in-person assessment by a waiver case manager or WCM. The WCM evaluates the extent of the individual's limitations and the need for hands-on support with activities of daily living or ADLs like bathing, dressing, eating, or transferring Okay, 3, capacity to direct care. The participant must have significant cognitive capacity to understand and direct their own care, make informed decisions about who provides it. If they lack this capacity, a designated representative like family member or legal guardian can step in to supervise and direct care on their behalf. Required documentation. Several key documents must be in place for attendant care, guys. I'm going to go through those for you. Give me 2 seconds, please. Okay, now the first one is a referral form. Like your case manager has to refer you to a company for them to give you hours and such. So that's number one. Pre-screening information to confirm baseline needs. Comprehensive care assessments that outline functional limitations and goals of care. Okay, this structure helps ensure services are tailored to those who both need support and are in position to safely oversee the delivery of that support either on their own or through someone they trust. If you'd like, I can sketch out a mock eligibility list to guide case managers or families through the process. Instead, the eligibility criteria for adult attendant care shape the caregiver's role in some pretty significant ways, both practically and emotionally. Let's see. Okay, 1. Increased responsibility with participant directed care. Caregivers, especially family members, often step into uh, cause it a managerial role of the participant has limited capacity. That means workers handling worker supervision, training coordination, and service documentation. It shifts caregiving from just helping out to something closer to case coordination. Need for cognitive oversights. Because participants must demonstrate cognitive capacity or designate a representative, caregivers may need to formally act as decision makers. This adds legal and ethical responsibilities practically when navigating boundaries around autonomy versus safety. 3, documentation and advocacy burden. Eligibility eligibility is documented heavily, and the in-person assessment can feel high high stakes. Caregivers often become the historian, advocate, and real-time assessor, all while uh, preparing for a process that determines services or service access and workload relief. 4. Access to compensation and role uh, leg- legitimation, legitimizing or legitimization. Legitimization. If a caregiver becomes an approved attendant, these criteria create pathways for formal employment that can validate and stabilize their efforts, but also means they they're held to regulatory standards, subject to audits, and potentially juggling employer employee dynamics within the household. 5. Emotional impact. When eligibility is denied or capped, caregivers may feel unsupported or give me 2 seconds. Stretched too thin. On the flip side, securing services can bring immense relief and uh, redefine how they relate to the person they care for. From burnout buffer to rebalanced partnership. Would it be helpful if I mapped out the caregiver's journey through this eligibility process? Could I show key decisions, paperwork, checkpoints, and points where support could make the biggest difference? Caregivers often run into real world roadblocks when navigating these eligibility criteria, many of which can stall or even prevent access to adult attendant care. Here are some of the most common ones. 1. Cognitive capacity challenges. In the participants, if the participant's cognitive impairment is borderline or fluctuating, like in early stage dementia, it can be difficult to demonstrate a clear ability to direct care. This creates um, ambiguity that may delay approval or require a representative to step in, adding paperwork, decision making, complexity, and potential family tension. Okay. 2, difficulty designating representative. Not everyone has someone they trust or who is legally positioned to act on their behalf. This is particularly tough for people aging without close family or in strained relationships, leaving caregivers in a gray zone without authority or coordinate services. Assessment pressure. The in-person evaluation by waiver case manager can be daunting. Caregivers may feel under pressure to prove need without exaggerating conflicts, inconsistent documentation, or or a participant having a good day during the visit can inadvertently screw the outcome. 4, documentation bottlenecks. getting referrals, getting referral forms, assessments, and pre-screening documents can be time consuming and bureaucratic, especially if caregivers are juggling jobs or caregiving responsibilities. Small errors or delays in paperwork can halt the entire process. 5, limited awareness of options. Some caregivers simply don't know that participant directed services exist or that they themselves can be paid as attendants under specific conditions. That lack of awareness means missed opportunities for support, respite, and financial stability. Give me 1 second. Six, emotional toll of gatekeeping. When eligibility is denied, especially after time consuming prep, caregivers can feel demoralized, angry, or stuck. The appeals process offers some recourse, but that too demands time, stamina, and advocacy skills that not all caregivers have. Would you like help outlining strategies to navigate or even prevent these barriers? I can sketch out a proactive roadmap if that would be useful. Absolutely. Here's a concise summary of strategies caregivers can use to navigate barriers in the adult attendant care eligibility process. Key strategies to overcome common barriers. 1, craft Craft holistic documentation. Give me 1 second, guys. Papers aren't coming apart. Okay, next page. Two, include personal anecdotes, daily care logs, and safety concerns, not just diagnosis, to reflect actual need. Prepare for in-person assessment. Rehearse with the participant. Have a caregiver present and bring a brief support snapshot for clarity. 4. Set up representative supports early. Secure any legal power of attorney, guardianship, and clarify the representative's care coordination role in advance. 5. Tap agency networks. Reach out to disability rights organization, caregiver forums, or your local area on aging for support in making these. Okay. For templates, coaching, and system navigation. Streamline paperwork with a tracking system. Maintain a care binder or digital folder with all documentation, contacts, communication logs to prevent delays. Okay, 7. Align the inner circle. Educate family or household members on the importance of consistent messaging during evaluations. 8. Prepare a reconsideration toolkit. If services are denied, gather updated records, care logs, and provider letters to support a structured appeal. Would a printable version of this be helpful for caregiver training or onboarding? I can. Design one that's easy to share with teams or families. Okay, guys, so that is B for you. I'll be back on with C in a little bit as soon as I figure out what that is. C may tie in to this subject tonight. I haven't decided yet, but I will figure that out and I'll be back on with it. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.